Hi, this is an introduction to Operations Motion Studio, which is a simple tool for outlining workflow and motion analysis. And it's not really a game, but it's like a little bit for drawing and numerical analysis of operations. It's based on ASME process chart standards, so it's a good way to learn the key elements of operations, transport, inspection, delay, storage, and how one can use this modeling approach. So if we have a quick look on the actual game here, so this is a tool, and we have simple example of operations over here of car inspection. We have certain steps here. Inspection goes to the vehicle, goes in the front of the vehicle to check the chassis number, inspects the chassis number, goes to the computer, enter data, so on. And we are using certain symbols to show what type of operations we are talking about, and then we record two numbers here, uh, the time and the distance of the operator who's performing this task. And we can give the name for the entire activity, what we are studying here. We just call workflow analysis, but we can change it. We can say it's workflow analysis for car inspection. We can give the name of the title of the person who was the person conducting the analysis here. And then we can select here that, okay, if this is the current status of the process, or perhaps this is something what we suggested for as to be version of the process. So we can change this here, and each of the activity has a symbol, and these are the symbols according to the ASM notation. ASM notation uses these ones, the symbols for the operation, the circle. We have the arrow for the flow. We have inspection. We have something which is taking a delay in the process, some storage activity, and then the hybrids, the combination, for example, combination of the operation and inspection symbols. So it's merging these two symbols together, and the another one very typical is operation and transportation taking place in the same operation. So we can very quickly see here what type of operations is taking place, and we can change these by just clicking here between different types. And here we can record the how many seconds each of the operation takes. As you can see, this template is really for some quite fast operations to analyze what's going on, and we can delete a sequence, and we can also create a new sequence here if you want. Finalize the analysis, something like that, how long it takes, and how much walking, how many meters the operator needs to walk here, for example. And then we can save our report into the local JSON file. We can load it from our computer, and we can also export the overall report, which is showing the details of the operation and the summary of the entire activity chart here in a PDF form. So you can use that in your presentation or some other reports. So we can export the PDF of the whole thing. And about the readings, we have a link to the ASME standard operation. This is pretty old, freshly from 1947. And it's a link to some of the old documentation that's quite interesting to see. One all this has been invented a long time ago. But this software here, what we are using is maybe a little bit more fresh view on the very same exact thing, and it's a very nice tool to analyze some operations in a factory or in a service. Very good. Thanks.